Hi, I'm Iram and I'm going to talk about my book Where She Went. The book Where She Went is written by Gail Forman in April 2011. It's a sequel to If I Stay, a book, also a major film, which was produced in August 2014. Where She Went is from Adam's point of view, who is one of the main characters. In the first book, Mia and Adam were lovers and the book was about the car crash where all of members of Mia's family have died. Also in that book, Mia was in coma and at the end of the book Mia survived, but Adam said he would let her go, so Mia went to Juilliard, which was her dream school across the country. Where She Went takes place in New York 3 years after Mia had the accident and went to Juilliard. There in New York, Adam had a concert, but Mia also had a concert, so they were in the same place at the same time. Adam saw the posters of Mia and he went to the concert. After the concert, Mia wanted Adam backstage, so he went there at the end of the show. They talked and talked. They haven't talked since the accident, so they had a lot to tell. And they decided on having a walk that night. They have had dinner together and talked about everything that they were feeling and what they have lived. Gail Forman has told the power of love in this book really sincerely. She made a good point about how real lovers end up together when they don't expect, no matter what, someday in some place they would fall with each other. The characters in the book are Mia and Adam. I think the writer did a good job with the characterization. In the first book, they were teenagers, so they were more likely kids. But in Where She Went, they are more mature and more likely a grown-up. And I think that the writer represented a young woman who lost her whole family really well. The feeling of being alone is really well mentioned by the quotes and explanations from the book. And I think that it's what makes the story more intense and sincere. After reading Where She Went, I read some book reviews about it from different sites. Most of the readers are saying that it's better than If I Stay, and it's one of the must-read books. They are saying that the writer did an amazing job expressing the emotions and feelings, and she made the readers feel those feelings and emotions deep inside. I agree that Gail Forman did a great job, but I totally and strongly disagree that it was better than If I Stay. I think she did an outstanding job with If I Stay, because in that book it wasn't just love, but some family crisis. Reviewers also mentioned that If I Stay was all about accidents and pain, but I think that was more emotional and sincere than just a love story. If I Stay had both pain and love, so I think it was more sincere, and I must say that I really cried in that, but not in Where She Went. I also think that the events in Where She Went were predictable. I knew how it was going to end when I first started reading it, but I wanted to believe that Gail Forman would surprise me with the ending. Unfortunately, she didn't. The major topics of this book are love and second chance, and the theme of these topics is very obvious and you can get it easily while reading it. Big loves don't end, and they are worth giving a second chance. Real lovers end up together in some place, maybe really soon, maybe after a really long time. But it doesn't matter, because they would have the deepest feelings for each other, and those times that they weren't together wouldn't mean a thing. My favorite part from the book is nearly to the end of the book, where Mia tells how she really feels about Adam. She says, "I know, I needed someone to hate, and you're the one I loved most, so it felt to you." I think this quote is so sincere and intense. How she says it, how she expresses it. I think it's just perfect that I can't find words to describe it. Love and hate are two extremely different feelings, but I think hating someone because you can't feel something else except loving them is a blessing. To feel love to someone is a hard thing, and hating them because they're making you to love them is something extraordinary. In all, my thoughts for this book are just my ideas. I tried to think like the most of the reviewers, but their thoughts didn't make sense to me. They were saying that people could read Where She Went without reading and knowing If I Stay, but I really hate that idea. You can't read a sequel without knowing what happened before, and especially if the first one was better. I recommend Where She Went to the teenagers aged 14 to 18. I think someone over 18 may find it a bit childish or boring, and for the ones under 14, they may not understand the intents of the book. Finally, I rate Where She Went 4 out of 5 cellos.